question is, will they get Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench?
The WNBA is no stranger to drama, but this season, Caitlain Clark and Angel Reese have taken things to another level.
Will they call it? The question is, will they get Kennedy Carter now with 12 points off the bench?
When two of the league's biggest stars collide, it's never just about the game, it's about the fight for supremacy. As the energy in the arena buzzed with anticipation, fans knew that the rivalry between these two forces was going to be something special.
At the 12 behind the back pass, turnover.
But the stage wasn't set for just another regular season match. This was the clash of the Titans, the showdown between two women who were willing to fight for every inch of the floor. Caitlain Clark, the WNBA's rising star, had already captured the spotlight with her insane skills and unshakable confidence. On the other side, Angel Reese, with her fiery spirit and relentless drive, had emerged as one of the most dominant players in the league.
And she post feeds Aaliyah Boston.
As the two squared off, the stakes couldn't have been higher. Both were out to prove something, not just to each other, but to the entire WNBA. Could Caitlain continue her unstoppable run, or would Angel's physical play and toughness be enough to bring her down?
Clark dumps it down, lays it in.
This game was more than just basketball. It was a battle of wills, and only one could come out on top. It all began when Caitlain Clark hit the floor for the opening tip. With her signature deep three-pointer just moments into the game, it was clear this wasn't going to be a walk in the park for either team. But as the game progressed, the intensity grew exponentially. The back and forth between Clark and Reese wasn't just limited to their performances on the court. It was a mental battle as well.
Clark trying to get around Mabry. Clark to the rim, reverse.
The first time these two met on such a grand stage, the hype was electric, but the play on the court lived up to the anticipation. Reese's defense was suffocating as she worked tirelessly to contain Clark. For most of the game, Reese stayed glued to Clark, knowing that shutting her down would be the key to shutting down the Fever offense. Meanwhile, Clark wasn't just focusing on her own shots. She was orchestrating every play, making sure her teammates were always in the right position to score.
The end of the first quarter, Clark again, heating up.
However, it was when the physical play started ramping up that the tone of the game shifted. Caitlain Clark, usually calm under pressure, began to feel the effects of constant fouls. Angel Reese, not backing down an inch, matched Clark's intensity, and the physicality escalated quickly.
And I was like, what do they feed the players in Texas? Well, what are they feeding Caitlain Clark? Because there we go with another behind the back.
Kennedy Carter of Chicago played a big part in this, pushing and shoving Clark after every possession, trying to get under her skin. It was clear this was no longer just a game of basketball. It was a mental battle of strength and willpower. From the tip-off to the final buzzer, the game was a full-blown physical confrontation.
Wheeler finds Clark from the window.
Every time Caitlain Clark attempted to drive to the basket or even shoot, there was someone in her face, someone shoving her, fouling her, trying to throw her off balance. Chicago's defense, especially with players like Carter, was relentless in their attempt to disrupt Clark's game.
And that's certainly what she does here, attacking Marina Mabry, moving her feet as best she can.
The hits weren't subtle, they were blatant, and they came hard. At one point, Kennedy Carter delivered a blow that sent Clark sprawling to the floor. It was a textbook foul, but the officials failed to call it.
Will they call it?
The physicality didn't stop there. The pressure on Clark only seemed to intensify as the game wore on. Chicago doubled her on every possession, often sending two defenders at her, hoping to force her into mistakes. But Caitlain Clark was having none of it. With poise and grace, she handled the pressure, maintaining her composure and responding with unmatched skill. But despite the fierce physicality, Clark was able to adapt. Each time she was knocked down or fouled, she got up, ready to go again. Even when the refs let things slide, she didn't let frustration take over her game. Instead, she used the aggressive play to fuel her, knowing that the harder she fought, the harder it would be for Chicago to stop her.
All of a sudden, that's 6 of 10. Not looking so hot anymore.
As the physical play reached its peak, Caitlain Clark's resilience truly came to the forefront. Despite the constant fouls, the pressure, and the frustration, Clark didn't let it get to her. She played through the hits, making sure her team stayed in control.
Game today. Trying to answer, you bet.
Her mental toughness was on full display. When the refs failed to call fouls, when her teammates weren't able to find their rhythm, Clark stepped up to the challenge. Whether it was eating a clutch three-pointer or making a no-look pass that set up an easy basket for her teammate, Clark was proving that her game was more than just scoring. It was about leadership, vision, and a determination to win at all costs.
Catch, fire, and connect!
Even when Chicago tried to make adjustments, doubling her on defense, putting more physical pressure on her, Clark simply adapted. She didn't force plays or let the frustration of non-calls get the best of her. Instead, she played smarter, finding ways to break down the defense with perfect passes and clever maneuvers. Her basketball IQ was on full display as she outthought the defense and controlled the game from the point guard position.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
As the game wore on, the refereeing became a topic of conversation. Time and time again, Caitlain Clark was fouled, hard fouls that would normally be called without hesitation. Yet in this game, the refs seemed hesitant to blow their whistles. In some cases, Clark was sent to the ground after aggressive contact, but no calls came.
Through some contact, Clark diving in, gets the whistle.
The non-calls became more noticeable with every minute. After Kennedy Carter pushed Clark in a fast break, no foul was called. Caitlain looked to the refs, expecting a whistle, but nothing came. Frustration started to creep into her game, but Caitlain didn't let it show. Instead, she channeled that energy into making the plays that mattered most. The tension between the referees and Clark built, but instead of letting the lack of calls get the best of her, Clark used it as motivation. The lack of respect from the refs only made her more determined to show she didn't need anyone's help. She would do it on her own.
Veronica Burton put the ball on the deck and attacked the basket.
What a flick!
As the game progressed, the Fever began to lose control, and it seemed like the sky might pull away with the win. But that was when Caitlain Clark decided to take over. She wasn't just playing for herself anymore, she was playing for the team. With the score close and the pressure mounting, Clark turned the game into her own personal highlight reel. She started dictating the tempo, moving the ball with precision and speed. Every time she touched the ball, she seemed to create a scoring opportunity.
In fact, Bentley lays that one in, right up there with them.
They're down 11.
Whether it was her quick crossovers to shake off defenders or her vision to set up a teammate for a wide-open shot, Caitlain Clark became the driving force behind every possession. But it wasn't just her scoring that stood out. It was her ability to get everyone involved. The game plan shifted from trying to break down the defense with isolation plays to creating team-wide opportunities with quick ball movement. Every pass seemed to find the open man, and every shot looked like it was destined to fall.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
Clark was playing chess, while Chicago was playing checkers. With the game on the line and the clock winding down, Caitlain Clark was on the verge of history. The triple-double was in her sights. She had already achieved 29 points and 12 assists, but one more rebound was all that stood between her and another milestone in her storied career.
The end of the first quarter, Clark again. Keating up.
The energy in the arena was electric. With every possession, Caitlain knew the importance of what was happening. She wasn't just playing to win the game. She was playing to cement her legacy. In the final moments of the game, she got the rebound she needed, securing her third career triple-double and sending a message to the entire league: Caitlain Clark is here to stay. As the buzzer sounded and the Fever secured the victory, Caitlain Clark's stats were more than just numbers. They were a testament to her dominance, her resilience, and her ability to perform under the highest pressure. 31 points, 12 assists, and 10 rebounds, a stat line that cemented her place as one of the greatest players in the WNBA.
And I was like, what do they feed the players in Texas? Well, what are they feeding Caitlain Clark? Because there we go with another behind the back.
Caitlain Clark didn't just play the game, she defined it. After a triple-double performance that shattered records, she left fans and opponents alike in awe. The rivalry with Angel Reese was only the beginning. This season, it's clear that Caitlain Clark isn't just a player to watch, she's a player to fear. With her combination of leadership skill and unrelenting drive, Caitlain Clark is ready to dominate the WNBA for years to come. The question isn't if she'll be a legend, it's when she'll become the greatest to ever play in the WNBA. And as for Angel Reese, she'll be gunning for Clark every step of the way. But the gap between them is already starting to look like more of a canyon. The league better get ready for the next phase of Caitlain Clark's incredible career.